I didn't realize this until we started doing our notes before the interview, but you were actually in the first two Bad Boy movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I got in Michael Bay, great director.
Oh, yeah.
Directed my Nike commercial.
Dope.
In 1990.
Oh, and that's how you got on Bad Boys?
No, so I went to visit Martin and Will, because, I know him, but I was really tight with Martin. And I went down, he was doing the scene where he's getting the girl out of Will's apartment, and they're shooting up the apartment, and out of the girl's apartment. And I hear this guy yelling, and I was like, who's that? He says, young director, whatever. And he's screaming and throwing things. I said, hey, man, lower your voice over there. He said, who the hell is that? And I just remembered that's how he was on set. He's like, what are you doing here? I said, listening to you yell? He said, Martin, he's funny. We got to give him in the movie. And Martin said, you the director? He said, you got a SAG card? I said, I got a SAG card. You did my commercial. I didn't pay my SAG dues. I'm rushing to play my SAG dues. And he goes, and they called me. He goes, we're only going to pay you SAG day rate, but it'll be funny, and we're going to write it. We were writing it as we walked to the set. That's
right. You played the computer nerd.
Yeah.
Well, the busted computer nerd.
Yeah,
you were originally...
And then the second one, I was out of jail working for the cops, because criminals are really police officers. No, I'm joking.
But I think it was a dope dope role. You know what I mean? Because you played especially the smartest guy in the room.
And usually am. But and rightfully so. No, but so now I'm doing LA Finest with Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba, where they're bad boys, but they're bad girls. And she left the DEA, Jessica, and they put these two women in this position. And I happen to be living in LA now doing my hacking thing, and she taps into me every once
so you're
in a while.
acting in this movie too?
Yeah, I'm acting in this.
Okay.
It's a TV show for Spectrum. Comes out in April.
Okay. Are you in Bad Boys 3?
Was the campaign on Twitter. Like literally without me having anything to do with it. There's a campaign on Twitter, bring black John Salley as Fletcher. I think you can hashtag that. And when I went to set, somebody was like, man, people are pushing for you to get in this movie. I would love to be in that movie.
I don't see why you wouldn't be.
They said it wasn't bringing anybody back except Will and Martin. And everything else was new.
Well, Michael Bay's doing it?
No.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I guess that's the guy that was bringing you in each time. Yeah, okay.
Jerry Bruckheimer, he gave me a couple of movies after that because he likes me, but, maybe I'll just, hey, Jerry, I just happen to be outside your mansion, man.
Since last time we talked, Bill Cosby got convicted. Being in professional sports for as long as you were in, did you see the type of environments that are being, that have a spotlight on them these days? Were there things that were happening that was acceptable back then that these days people would lose their job over?
Acceptable? I'll even make it simple. They did a show called Mad Men. Mad Men won, I don't know how many Golden Globes.
Yeah.
It only showed you the way things went.
It was a TV.
It was Golden Globes.
You win Golden Globes for TV?
Yeah.
Emmys? Emmys, yeah.
Why you had to... Yeah, that's right. That is Golden
Globes movies, yeah.
The Emmys.
Yeah.
Look how many awards Mad Men won. And all they did is write about what was. How they treated women, how women worked, the control of men, this whole movement. I saw things that are so crazed that you took it for, hey, that's just the way it is. I went in to pay into the hair salon. My guy owns a hair salon, and I saw one of the hairdressers, and she was reading a book. And I went over, and I normally would go behind her and go, hey, touch her. I went like this with my elbow. Hey. She turned around, and I said, what's up? Because I'm not allowed, you can't touch people on their back. So I was like, hey, or you get in front of them.
Yeah.
I was like, hey. She was like, hey. Went to give me a hug. I was like, all right. And I give the hug where you don't touch anything. That's how conscious you have to be right now.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever had anyone accuse you of anything?
Oh, yeah, man. I had a lawsuit. Yep. The day my daughter was born, Taya, 15 and a half years ago, April 21st, my daughter's born. I'm happy. I get a call from George Greenberg, and I'm thinking he's the first to call me, say congratulations. I said, yeah, man, 10 toes, 10 fingers, eyes work, everything is all right, everything. So he said, no, I need you to come in. Why? He goes, somebody accused you of exposing yourself. I said,
exposing yourself?
I said, what do you mean by that? What's that mean? And he goes, well, he said Tom was this, and the girls did this, and and she sued everybody. So I had to go before arbitration, and at that time, Fox told me that they wasn't representing me. I'm an independent contractor. I had to get my own legal counsel. So I go to Jones Day.
You were working...
Best Damn Sports Show, period.
Okay, got it.
2003, April 21st. And I go in, hear what he has to say. I get a lawyer, does a deposition. The girl who accused me was always in my dressing room, was always friends with me, used to always flirt, talking about what she was going to get married, did all of that. She said that the girls in wardrobe grabbed the boobs in the staircase and always would grab her butt. And Tom Arnold kicked her off set. Other guys would make all this kind of craziness. But she was always around me. And I said, this can't be. Like, this is my friend. What are you talking about? He goes, no, she's not your friend's house. She said that you exposed yourself. And she said she was afraid to be alone with you or in a spot. We go into arbitration, and we're sitting across. And my lawyer, she said, John wants to make a statement. And I said hello to her and looked at her husband. Sorry, you had to be there in these circumstances. She was pregnant at the time. I said, when you called back home on the East Coast, whose phone did you use? Your phone. Why? Because you only went long distance in your room. I know it sounds crazy to those kids now, but we had landlines, this thing. And then I said, when you're watching BET or cable, whose room you in? Yours. You're the only one with, I negotiate everything in my contract, right? Was the door open and closed? I would be in your room all the time. Okay. Then I sat back, and my lawyer said, we'd like to be excused because she said in the defamation, in her what do you call it? Deposition, that she was afraid to be alone with John and all this, what you call it. But she just proved in front of us that none of that is true. Mm-hmm. And she said, are you afraid to be in front of John? She goes, no, he's my friend. I was excused. None of that made it to the paper. No, it made it to the paper. We on this side and we did this. Anything to knock you down. It's never, I say this all the time. People who accuse other people of theirs and you find them not to be true.
Nothing happens.
They should now have to go before something.
100%.
Every time.
100%.
I'm not agreeing with the Stormy Daniels thing, but guess what? She lost. She signed a contract saying she was going to keep her mouth shut. She didn't do what she said she was going to do.
Right.
And the court said, hey.
Yeah, you owe $300,000 in legal bills.
This is where this is at. They don't do that with everybody else. They don't hold other people at certain points accountable. You have to deal with it. So I got called in on I had so many lawsuits for some stuff, people I don't even know. I remember when I was first came into the NBA, somebody said I had a paternity suit. I was 21 years old. First time I got to Detroit. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you didn't pay child support for your twins. I said, what twins? How old are they? She said, they're 6. I said, I had sex with you when I was 14 years old. Like, that wasn't a dream.
Yeah. I just had Too Short on here.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about his own paternity suits. And he explained to me, which was mind-blowing. He said,
I've even had a couple of, I've been in court a couple times with being accused of being the father. And
really?
And they weren't mine.
So women have taken you to court and said, I am absolutely sure Too Short is the father.
Yeah, I got that letter that said, if you don't appear on such and such date, you are automatically the father.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
Some people ignore that letter, and then you got 18 years of payments for a child that might not be yours.
And they're not going to take the DNA test at that point because they have a guaranteed check on the way.
You're done. Like I don't know how you reverse that.
That's a real thing. You could become a default father by showing up to court.
Ignoring paperwork. Yep.
Yeah, and I ran into one girl literally took a limousine to my house in Detroit and sent letters and all that and rented a suite in my name and the limo driver pulled up and my cousin Sabrina went out. She goes, what are you doing on the property? And he was like, I got such and such in the back. She goes, who's that? And she had made this whole thing up. Next thing you know, I'm taking a paternity suit. I'm taking a test. I proved to be negative.
Yeah, man.
Guess what? 17 years later, the kid is on Facebook asking me, can I just talk to you? I was like, nah, I ain't want to talk to your mama. I ain't talking to you. Yo, yeah. You're a target. You're a target.
100%. Will Smith had a video on Instagram where he said that he gets sued on average 15 times a year. Nick Cannon, when he was here last time, said that
We had nannies that sued us or did things like and said, "Oh, your son headbutt me and I'm gonna sue." Like, he's a baby. Like, the fuck you gonna sue us because my son headbutt you? He's 9 months old. Like, he wasn't trying to hurt you. Like, but it's like, it's things like that to where, and we've had to settle and pay people because my son headbutt somebody.
oh, so you actually paid that.
What else are you gonna do? You fight it in court, it's gonna cost you more than what they're suing for.
A 1-year-old. You see what I'm saying? Like a 1-year-old. How much damage is a 1-year-old going to do?
Let me just say this also about Nick Cannon. I'm a huge Nick Cannon fan.
Me too.
But let me tell you why. I saw his first performance here in Los Angeles. He was 16 years old. And everything he said he was going to do, he did. So I'm always a fan of doers, not talkers.
Yeah, he's a regular on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he had to settle with his nanny because he just said it was just more trouble than it was worth to try to go through the court thing with her. So that's the thing. It's a shakedown, man.